right, is everybody ready? On an increasingly warmer day here in Kansas City, we are excited to continue on more progress invested in our road, our sewer, our neighborhood infrastructure in every part in Kansas City, and we're proud to do it today on the west side. You'll hear from everyone behind me as we talk about a $43.6 million investment in our neighborhoods along Southwest Boulevard and the west side of Kansas City, and making sure that we have not just safer streets, smoother ones, that we're addressing flooding issues, and more than anything, that we are finally investing in the neighborhood in the way that we need to. This has been a long time coming, and I want to thank a lot of the community advocates who are here with us, who have pushed us for some time. Since I started serving on City Council back in 2015, we have known there have been challenges, be it flooding, streets decaying, sidewalk concerns, beautification needs, and in this project you're going to see us address all of them. From ADA improvements to addressing bird issues under the bridge to making sure that we actually have a welcoming environment that doesn't say the west side is a place to speed through, but instead says it's a place to come to shop, to engage, to be a part of, and to invest. And so thank you to everyone who's made this part of it. Thank you to our taxpayers who time and again, be it general obligation bonds, water bonds, or capital improvements, have said that this matters to us, this is important. We even got Public Works driving by now doing more good work. So thank you to everyone. I am thrilled by this project. Project Link will be in 2 phases, concluding in the spring of 2027 in Toto. You'll hear more about that. But this is a great day for the west side, a good day for Kansas City, and another sign that we recognize there are bumpy streets and roads around our city. You have smoother rides, safer rides, whether you're driving, riding a bicycle, walking, or coming through town any other way. So congrats to everyone. This project wouldn't exist right now without the engagement of some very important people, one of whom was able to get this project moving within months of being in office, because I know we kicked off on public engagement in October of 2023. So I want to thank my good colleague and friend and representative from the 4th District at large, Councilman Crispin Wright.
Good afternoon. The west side is the best side, right? I'm proud to represent this neighborhood on the City Council, and I want to take a moment of personal privilege and talk about what this project means, not just as Latino representing this neighborhood and not having had representation on the City Council for almost 30 years, but when we talk about this stretch being unsafe for pedestrians and unsafe for drivers, we mean it. The data shows it. The stories show it. My personal story and experience with that is in 2015, I had an uncle who was in a car accident on Southwest Boulevard, and he eventually passed away from the injuries he sustained. This isn't a vanity project. We mean when we say this corridor is in a major upgrade of safety improvements and design improvements. When the mayor says this project is a long time coming, he means this is a long time coming. We are talking decades of the city not investing in the long-term solutions for this corridor. In spite of that, we have so many businesses and property owners along the way who have thrived and continue to be successful. I see a number of them here today with us. I won't name them all because I'm scared I'm going to miss someone. But to the media folks, I encourage you to talk to them and hear their stories about what it's been like to operate here and what these improvements can help to do. I do want to say I am proud of those folks for continuing to make it through years of the city not investing, years of challenges, and I am excited for them because they deserve this. They deserve a corridor that's going to be shadier, that's going to be safer, that's going to be better for people to walk, that's going to drive more business in the door. They deserve this, and that's who this project is ultimately for. And so I am very excited to get this underway. It didn't always seem that this day would come. We are going to have this project done by the time the World Cup is here, and then we're going to go on to the next phase of Southwest Boulevard, which is continued investment to the west of here. This all wouldn't be possible with not just the folks in the community who have advocated for this and asked for it, but also with leadership at the city. And you'll hear from some of those folks, but I do want to highlight the work of Nicholas Bolsonaro, the city engineer, who has really taken this project on, I'd almost say as a pet project, and given it special attention, knowing what the stakes are. And I also want to recognize my city council counterpart in the 4th District, Councilman Eric Bunch, who between he and I and being able to work together, navigate the process at City Hall, and finally get this project done, couldn't do it without his partnership. And he is your next speaker, so let me introduce Councilman Eric Bunch.
Thanks everyone for being here, and thanks to the mayor and Councilman Rea for not just being here in support of this, but for really helping lead the charge for a better Southwest Boulevard. You know, this project started probably 3 or 4 years ago at this point, when the Public Works Department, I think Nicholas Bassanetto, was brand new to City Hall, had come here from the East Coast. We're like, hey, we're going to do this Planning Sustainable Places project. Welcome aboard. Let's get this thing done. And thankfully, Nicholas, as Councilman Rea, took this on as a project that took ownership in, and an incredible amount of work went into community engagement. Some great consultants helped us not just build support, but just listen to the community, listen to the business owners on the Southwest Boulevard, listen to the residents of the West Side, to explain what it is that we need Southwest Boulevard to be. So when I first took office in 2019 and immediately started having regular meetings with folks from the West Side, it was clear that Southwest Boulevard, it has just been forgotten about. You come out here and you see it right now. There's no trees, there's no shade. It's loud. It's basically, it has been treated as a place you drive through rather than a place to stop and linger and go to the businesses. And no longer did we want it to be simply a way to get out of the city. Southwest Boulevard is a street that is incredibly important to our economic vitality. It's incredibly important to our cultural heritage, especially the Hispanic community. And we wanted a street that reflected that. And it was imperative that we did the work through that planning process to get a better understanding of what the needs were. So as a result, you're going to see a street that's transformed, a street that is worthy of this amazing community, a street that this community deserves, a street that is multimodal in nature, something that is vitally important to us and something that's been important to me as a city council person, and prior to that as an advocate for alternative modes of transportation. This is going to be a street that really changes the dynamic of this community in a positive way. I'm really excited for that. And I'm also, again, we couldn't have done this without the support of the mayor, of the city council, and especially Councilman Crispin Rea. And I did mention that early on, this project started last term, and I was excited, and you know, getting to know your council colleagues in the first few months is always, you're unsure of what their priorities are going to be. And the second I mentioned this to Councilman Rea, his eyes lit up and he was excited for it. And I was also excited because it's something that is near and dear to my heart. So I was very happy to have his support all along the way and really leading the charge. And so I want to thank them again for this, and thank the rest of the City Council. But also, I need to thank our next speaker, Mr. Mario Vasquez, our newer city manager. You can't call him new much anymore because he's been in the job for a few months, but he's definitely not new to City Hall. And so it's really important that we acknowledge the work that he did when he was in the Public Works Department, fighting for projects like this one, then when he's in the Planning Department and making sure that this type of thing was envisioned and integrated as part of our planning processes. And now as our city manager, making sure this project gets done. So without further ado, I want to introduce our city manager, Mario Vasquez.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I want to start by thanking our mayor and city council for giving the professional staff the opportunity to do what is the thing that we want to do, which is to deliver public and basic services to y'all. I think without their support, this is not possible. I also want to thank the staff from Public Works and Water Services Department. The collaboration in executing the replacement of this water main and coordinating the street improvements along this corridor is an example of how we can work together and actually provide results that the community expects. As Councilman Bunch explained, you know, I've done this kind of work before throughout my career, and I've run across many people that do this work. And so it's especially gratifying to me to see some of the people I know doing this work. So I do want to acknowledge the contractor, Mega KC, the company that I first did business with like 28 years ago. You know, Brian Gordon, Tyler Wesselman, I don't know how you got to be such a senior associate with the company, but there you are. And I worked with you almost about 15 years ago. It's great to see you there. I want to acknowledge Wilson and Company, my buddy Sawyer. I'm sorry, Spencer. It's an inside joke between Spencer and I, but Spencer used to work for us, and we did a lot of work together. And again, it's glad to see him taking the helm of something like this and helping us out. Last but not least, I want to thank the community and the businesses of the West Side. Without your support, something like this is not possible. You came to the open houses, you provided your input, and you helped our staff do what they do best, which is to provide a project that serves you for the long term. And of course, none of that happens without the leadership of our project manager and city engineer, Nick Pasanetto, who I'm pleased to introduce now. So thank you all.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for showing up. This is actually our second groundbreaking in District 4 this week alone. You guys are going to have to start getting some boots or something, because we're going to be out here doing a lot of groundbreakings. This project is a special project. This project started with the community. Like when I first started, I went to a meeting at Mattie Road Center, and that's when I met John Fierro. That was my first exposure to the West Side. The community was frustrated with the lack of investment in infrastructure over the years, and it was very palpable and it was very real. And with John Fierro, we got together. Councilman Bunch got us the seed money. Councilman Bunch planted the seed money with PIAC funds to get the planning process started. We got a planning sustainable places grant from Mark. We used the PIAC money as a match, and we hired Wilson and Company to do the plan. We went out again with Mattie Roads. We teamed up with Mattie Roads, and we did 8 public meetings, some of them exclusively in Spanish. We went out, we talked to the community, and it was very clear what they wanted. They wanted the West Side to remain unmistakably West Side. The West Side starts at Broadway and it goes all the way down. It doesn't start at the bridge. It starts at Broadway, and they wanted to make sure that people knew that. And they wanted to get infrastructure improvements. They wanted to be safer, all the racing, all the car accidents. They wanted to be safer for everybody. And they also wanted, there's stormwater issues. There's some flooding down there. And also more trees. You see, there's very little green space out here. So again, with the plan that we made, we moved very fast, and then Councilman Rea got elected, and huge amounts of credit to Councilman Rea and Councilman Bunch. In a short period of time, they got us $5.5 million. $5.5 million they got us to get this project started. And the improvements are very comprehensive. The water department is replacing all the water lines. They're just getting done. They'll be out of the way in a little bit. Then they'll take a break until after World Cup. We're doing the shared use path all the way from Broadway all the way down to 25th Street. All this will be trees over here. This interstate ramp here is going to be gone. We're going to calm traffic down. You're going to get new traffic signals. There's still going to be a lot of improvements. Underneath the bridge, we're working with our partners at MoDOT. MoDOT owns this interstate bridge, but underneath we're trying to make it a resource for the community instead of a dividing line. We're going to invest in all new lighting, pigeon control, signage, cameras. It's going to be safe and secure parking for all the businesses down here. And we're also, one more thing, we're going to make this unmistakably West Side. We're going to bring the Las Tarascas out of storage, and we're going to put them right here for the community where it belongs. With all that said, again, I cannot give enough overall. So everything in total, all the flood control projects, all the paving, it's going to be over $40 million worth of investment in the next couple years. Again, thank you to our council members, our city manager, and the mayor for investing into the West Side. With all that said, with no further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the man who really connected us to the community, who was our gateway to the community, Mr. John Fierro from Mattie Roads.
Well, thank you, Nick, very much for those kind words. You know, I want to begin by saying thank you. I was sharing with Mayor Lucas, this is probably the third event in about 3 years that I've been a part of with the mayor and Councilman Rea, Bunch, and with the city administration. And in each of those events, it's been to announce an investment of millions of dollars in this neighborhood. And Mayor Lucas, Councilman Ray Bunch, and the city staff, thank you. You know, I've lived in this neighborhood nearly a half a century, and growing up here in public housing and growing up to work in the community, to work with groups like Mattie Rhodes Center and Guadalupe Center and the HEDC, you learn very early on the passion and the commitment that homeowners, business owners, and community stakeholders have for this neighborhood. And I will tell you, during that time, I witnessed a lot of decades where there wasn't a lot of attention placed on the West Side. And through it all, you've seen the dedication of our business owners. We have Palacana, we have Tacos de Gallo. These are individuals that invested their money, their heart, when there wasn't any new sidewalks, new street improvements. I want to thank them. Let's give them a round of applause. And they're just two examples, certainly. And I also want to acknowledge our neighborhood nonprofit organizations. You know, Kansas City has the distinction, the West Side has the distinction of having three very long-standing nonprofit organizations all in this small neighborhood: Guadalupe Center, Cabot Health Center, Mattie Rhodes, and then you throw in Westside Housing at about 50 years. That, along with the businesses, the residents, and the community stakeholders, is what made all of this a reality. And I want to acknowledge all of them, and would just conclude, the mayor knows me very well. I'm always ready for a new ask. And I would just say, you know, with the improvements that are happening along Southwest Boulevard, the improvements that have happened throughout the neighborhood, I think we're ready for a brand new 6-level parking garage to bring the whole new Royal Stadium to fruition. And so it is my hope that the Royals are down here in Washington Square Park, and individuals can be parking somewhere here along the boulevard. And you know what? I'm gonna go get me some tacos, and I'm gonna then have a couple of cold drinks. I'm gonna walk to the Royals game. I'm gonna come back. And you know what? I have a bit of a sweet tooth. I want a paleta from Palacana. And then you know what? I'm gonna have a nightcap at El Pueblito. So that is my ask of you, Mr. Mayor. But in all seriousness, I do want to say thank you. We greatly appreciate your leadership. And I forgot, I need to invite somebody that has been a part of this community a lot longer than me and has done a lot of work, and that is Katrina Rojas Vincent.
Thanks, John. As a resident of this neighborhood for 63 years, I've seen a lot happen and a lot delays in infrastructure and improvements in our neighborhood. And I want to thank the council, mayor, and all the city staff that are here and working on the improvements in our neighborhood, and to John for also starting the beginnings of processes and all the individuals who started this project years ago. And when we see as a West Side resident and all the construction cones, signs, and infrastructure work being done in our neighborhood, it's a welcome sign to our residents. And what our residents do know is that patience. They know the word patience for a long time, and their patience and my patience is finally paying off through all the projects that are coming through the West Side. And I want to thank everyone involved in this project and future projects to come for new improvements and dollars donated to make our community what we know what it can be and the futuristic of it. So again, thank you to everyone who's involved, and thank you for being here. Thank you to the city, and viva la West Side!
Are there any questions? Okay, great. We'll do our grill.
Toss on 3. 1.